Hi students, welcome to finding more about slope. Before we get into slope, what I really want you to get really good at is finding delta y over delta x. And you're asking, well, what's that? All right, well, you need those two things to find your slope and to go on into higher math. Delta y is the difference between your two y values. Remember, every point has a y value and an x value. This x is 2, y is 0, and then 10, 5, xy. If you've forgotten, x comes before y and it's alphabetical, so you'll never have to think about it. Now, if you want to find the distance, the difference between the y values, what are we really talking about? It's this horizontal distance from here to here. Got a value of 5 at the top, got a value at 0 at the bottom. So just subtract them. That's difference, and you already know that. You're going to find in the books that it's got y2 sub 2 minus y sub 1. They're trying just to organize it for you and saying that one of your points will be the point number 2 and one's number 1. It doesn't matter which one you do. It's just an organizational thing, because if you start with this point, for instance, you're starting with this y on top, then you're going to have to start with that same x, the x that corresponds to it, because these are corresponding together. That's one point. So I'd be starting with a 10 down below to find this part of it, the delta x. Remember difference, so I'm subtracting. Finish it off, 5 minus 0. So your delta y here is 5. 5 units here, that's awesome. So 5 is that. This distance here is going to be 10 minus 2, 8. So this distance is 8. Let me highlight that for you. And now I've kind of set up a little triangle. That's what I want you to be able to do. Find out what your delta y over delta x is over and over again and get really good at it. The tricky part is remembering that y's go on top and that you've got to keep them symmetric. If you start with this point, you've got to start both of these values first. If you start with this point, you're going to be rewriting it differently, and that's okay. It'll still work out. Let's try it. You'll have 2 in the bottom minus this x value of 10. We're going to have to go 0 here, remember, to keep it symmetric. Keep them together. 0 minus this value, 5. Those are y's. Both of them are y's. Negative 5 over negative 8. Negatives? Now I'm scared. How to go negative? Ah, I forgot. Negative over negative is a positive. Awesome. They've got to match. Either way you go. So, where to go up here? 5 over 8. Sorry, I didn't finish that. And 5 over 8. It really doesn't matter which point you start with. Just remember y's on top. Thanks. And for practice, in the purple book, I would suggest doing page 305, 5 through 17, do the odds, check the odds in the back, as always, you know that. And if there are any questions, you can revisit the video, try them again, and write down the margin and any questions you got, bring them in tomorrow. See ya.